Hi, I'm Trevor with Road Bike City, and today I'll show you how to put together an X-Treme XB 300 Li electric mountain bike. Alright, let's get started. First get a knife and cut open the packaging. Okay, so just grab the bike by your frame and lift it out. Pull out your user manual, this is really important. And pull out your bag of goodies here. It'll have your charger, derailleur cover, tool set, pedals, and a light. If you don't have a work stand, don't worry about it. You can assemble this on the floor. Be really careful not to cut any cables, cut the tire, or scratch your paint while you're taking the packaging off. We can put the handlebars on first. Grab an Allen key tool, or the tools out of your toolkit that it came with. The 4mm tool is used to put these bolts on. You want to loosen each bolt one at a time, take them out completely. Once you have the clamp off, just grab your handlebars and flip it up. Make sure the fork is forward, of course. The shifter is going to go on the right side, the pedal assist red button is going to go on the left. And the cords should be in front of the handlebars. Don't worry about getting the handlebars perfect yet, just worry about getting them mounted on there. Put one bolt back at a time. It's not worry too much about tightening down all the way right now because we're probably going to want to adjust the position of the handlebars later when we get on the bike. Alright, so once the front handlebars are on, we can move on to the next step, which in this case will be the pedals. So to install your pedals, you need a little bit of grease. So look on the pedals, you should be able to see an L and an R. Take your grease. And grease is important too. If you don't put grease on it, since it's a threaded part, over time with friction, with heat, it's going to wear it down faster and you're going to break down your pedal threads. So just move it around and make sure it's around there. It's good to have a cloth on hand so you can wipe your fingers off when you're done. Alright, installing the pedals. On the left hand side, the pedal is counterclockwise, so you'll screw it in counterclockwise. That means to your left. You can take a 15mm wrench and it'll make it easier for yourself. Torque it down so it's tight but not too tight. Wipe off the grease if you want on the edges. Okay, to do the right pedal, same steps apply. The right pedal goes in clockwise. So now that we have the pedals on, the handlebars, I guess we can do the front wheel next. Front wheel's got a disc brake, so putting it on, you have to be careful about the disc. Move the packaging, grab your quick release tool, which should have come attached to the wheel. Remove the little warning sign. Unscrew the knob at the end and take off one of the cones. The cones should always face the narrow end inward towards the wheel. You notice this one's already like that. Okay, the quick release lever always goes on the left side of the wheel. In this case, the side with the disc brake. The other side, you want to put the cone spring, the narrow edge inward, and then use the little nut and screw it on there. Not too much. Just put the front wheel into the fork, put the disc between the pads, and screw the quick release lever so it's tight. Keeping it open, and to close it, just click the latch. Let's install the rack next. To install the rack, first loosen up this bolt right here on the bottom part. Turn this little piece around. Okay, and just tighten the bolt back up. Same thing on the other side. Alright, so your mounting points have the bolts in them already. Take the stand, put it approximately in place. Okay, to mount on this part, just take the bolt, put it in this little lower portion of the rack mount, and secure it. For these mounts, you'll need to, you can just hand loosen it. Alright, so put the arm into it. You need it to be on the very edge. Move the rack forward just enough. Now that you have it in place approximately, take your bolt, put it back through. Should slide through the hole in the arm now. Finger tighten it on. Use your crescent wrench on one end. And tighten it down the rest of the way. Same deal here. Make sure you tighten this joint as well so that it's nice and sturdy. Okay, this rack is not meant to carry more than 15-20 pounds, so don't try to sit on it as you will bend this little aluminum piece here. So let's put on this derailleur cover guard. There's 2 bolts down here that secure above the derailleur. Just take those off with a 4mm Allen key. Okay, having this installed is going to really protect the rear derailleur from getting bent if you were to take a crash or just have it go down on its side. This hanger getting bent means that the derailleur is not going to shift correctly, so this guard is really good to have in place. Check out the charger port. If you just unwrap the packaging and rip it apart, you'll see that the charger goes just like a laptop charger. Okay, one end goes into the wall, one end goes into the bike. Always plug it into the wall first. Make sure the bike is flipped to the off position. And flip this little latch down here. 3 prongs will go right into the cover. You'll see a little red light go in the battery. When that red light turns green, that means this charger has shut off and the battery is fully charged. It should take about 4 hours for a full charge, and especially if you drained it all the way, make sure you give time either overnight or during the day at work for it to fully charge back up again. I'm going to put air in the tires first, and then we're going to do some other stuff. So these take a classic straighter valve, and your normal bike pump will work. Try to use one with a gauge so you can gauge how much air pressure is going into it. Or of course you can use an air compressor. If you look on the side of the tire, it'll tell you what the maximum PSI is. These are 40 to 65, so I usually pump it up to 60. Okay, back tire is the same thing, so let's get that done. Okay, cool. Alright, I put air in the tires, so now I want to check the brakes and make sure they're good. Obviously it's grinding a little bit. The pads are really close to each other. The wheel is perfectly aligned. So I'm just going to loosen the cable here. This adjustment takes a 5mm Allen key. If you can see that, there's a bolt right here, the part that says wind zip on it. Just loosen that till the cord comes out and slips away. Okay. Then move the arm so you can kind of feel it touch the edge, and then loosen up a bit. If you look at it, you'll see the brake pads fall away, go back. We'll do it so that there's just a little bit of empty space right there between the pad and the disc. And then tighten it back down. What you want to feel is putting the lever down about halfway, and then the rest of the way is you clamping tight on it. Now there's barely any noise, and it still stops really good. Back wheel, no noise at all. And that clamps as well, so it looks like that's really good. One of the last things to do is adjust the handlebars. Make sure you're kind of standing over the bike the way you want to see it. Everything's good. Okay, that's pretty comfy. It's actually just about right, so I like it where it is. I'm going to go ahead and just cinch these bolts down. Let's take the bike outside and do a test ride. We'll talk more. Let's check out the battery. Come on in close. You'll have 4 keys with you. This is the ignition switch. It's in the off position to start with, and you just flip it to on, and you can press this red button here. It'll show you the lights lighting up. That's where the battery indicator shows. The locking mechanism right down here. Take the key, slide it in, and if you turn it that way, the battery should be unlocked and it comes right out of its little slot. And this way it makes it really easy and convenient to charge and bring it up to your house or apartment. Okay, so putting it back on the bike is pretty simple. There's a little slot here you slide into, so just lock into that slot, secure it firmly, turn the key and it's locked. Every time you need to charge the battery, you will need to remove the seat. One thing we've noticed is that this battery will clank around right here. If you want to take a little strip of Velcro or some sort of foam and put it right here on both sides of the battery, that'll stop that entirely from happening. Mostly on off-road uses when you're doing that. Alright, so check it out. I'm going to ride it around for you and see how it works. Alright, so there are two modes to operating this bike. There's a throttle only mode where you pull the throttle and it goes. And there's a pedal assist button right here. This little red button is the pedal assist mode. To turn it on, you just depress the switch and you start pedaling. To turn it off, you can not depress the switch, leave it undepressed, and you can pedal just like normal or use a throttle only. You can also have it pressed in and pull the throttle. That's fine too, but it's not really going to help. So always leave it undepressed if you pull the throttle, just to save battery efficiency. Alright, let's show you how it is. Alright, so that's the X-Treme bike. It's really fun to ride. It makes all the hills totally even, so it doesn't even feel like you're going up the hill. Makes it easy to take off. Makes it easy to get around town and have a great time. Check this bike out at RoadBikeCity.com. If you have any questions, give us a call. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below and subscribe to our channel for more cool resources like this. Have a great day, guys.